All right, let's see what we got here. I think I might have said on question 54 that 54 was the last question before word problems, but I just moved to the next slide and 55 showed up, so we're not quite finished yet. All right, so let's go ahead and rewrite what we have here. So we have x plus 1 times quantity x minus 6 equals 8. All right, and you'll recall from the previous videos where we talked about wanting to get all of our terms on one side and setting our equation equal to 0 because the directions are to find all solutions by factoring. So before we start trying to get all of our terms on one side, let's go ahead and FOIL the left side of our equation out and see what we get. So we have x times x, which is going to give us x squared, and x times negative 6 minus 6x. 1 times x will be plus x. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6, and then equals 8. All right, here we go. Let's combine our like terms. So we have x squared, and negative 6x plus x is minus 5x. Minus 6 equals 8. And let's go ahead, now that we've simplified and combined like terms on our left side, we can go ahead and move this 8 over. And so now we'll have x squared minus 5x. Negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14, and now equals 0. All right, so we have ourselves a trinomial here on the left, set equal to 0. So let's go through those questions. Number 1, is there a GCF on the left-hand side? Well, no, I don't think I see one, so we're going to move on to question 2, which is how many terms are there? Well, we have 1, 2, 3 terms, so we know that we can either use AC method, trial and error, scissors method, but because the coefficient in front of our x squared term is a 1, we really don't want to make our lives too complicated by using one of those methods, because what we can do is straight away create 2 empty sets of parentheses. We know we're working with x, so let's go ahead and just split that x up. And now all we have to do is look for factors of 14 that subtract to give us a negative 5. So what are the factors of 14? Well, we have 1 and 14, 2 and 7, and I think that's it. So looking at these 2 sets of factors, which factors can we subtract to get to a negative 5? Well, I think the only ones that are going to work for us are 2 and 7, right? Because we can't get a negative 5 out of 1 and 14, but 2 and 7 we certainly can. And we're looking to subtract, so if we had a positive 2 and subtracted 7 from that positive 2, we would end up at a negative 5, right? So we have our plus 2, our minus 7, so plus 2, minus 7. And there we have it. So we've gone ahead and factored the left-hand side. We factored our trinomial, but we're not quite finished because we need to find the solutions to this trinomial or to this equation. And when we do that, we're going to, now that we've factored, set each of these factors independently equal to 0. So here we had x plus 2, so let's go ahead and independently set that to 0. We had x minus 7, so we'll set that to 0, and now let's go ahead and solve. Solving for x, we'll subtract 2 from both sides, leaving us with x equals negative 2. And here on the right, we'll add 7 to both sides, leaving us with x, and that's an x equals positive 7, and there you have it. So x equals negative 2, x equals positive 7. There are the solutions to our equation.